This will be an update on how things have been going since I've been here for going on 6 months now. And yeah, it is not going to be what you think. So this takes vulnerability, and I don't even know if I'm comfortable with sharing everything, and I don't know when I'll even put this out after I record it, because I could record it now but be too uncomfortable to put it out right away. So yeah. Hey, so I'm back. The clip that you guys just saw, I recorded that yesterday, and then my phone started to lose some storage space, and by the time I cleared out things, I was too tired. So I'm back again the next day to do this video. I went to church today and I had on some eyelashes, and that's why they are not on, because I cried. I was crying because it's just been non-stop trial after trial after trial since I've been here. Suffering after suffering after suffering since I've been here. I'm going through actually long suffering. I'm experiencing long suffering. And God saw it fit for me to go through this storm. When I got to this apartment, right, when I first moved in, day one, the apartment was dirty, things were broken, there was mold in the shower, and there were roaches. Yes, in a luxury apartment building, right? I was having the worst day of my life, and while everyone is on social media congratulating me, saying proud of you, Tish, congrats, and God bless, wish you the best, all of this stuff, nobody knows that I am crying my eyes out, having the worst day ever. Nobody. I felt betrayed by God. I'm like, God, you looking kind of crazy even to me right now, and I got some faith, but you looking real crazy, because a good God wouldn't lead me to this. It was insane. Now, I dealt with everything, you know what I'm saying? I dealt with everything, and the apartment management didn't really help much. The work that I put into this apartment for it to be what it is now, clear of the pest issue, things fixed, I literally took it into my own hands to seal up and caulk areas. I did all of the treatments. This building management ain't do nothing. I had to put in work orders for them to fix everything that should have been fixed. Child, thank God we are beyond that now, 6 months in, but I felt betrayed. I'm like, God, I gave up my life to come halfway across the country, you understand, alone, and this is what you lead me to. Not okay, God. I'm not okay with that. Not cool. That was just the apartment situation. The work situation was maybe worse, because it took 2 months for me. I didn't even know if I was gonna have a job or not. It took 2 months for me to start working. I had to go through a federal background check, which I'm good, my record is clean. But for some reason, my background check got rejected. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Every time it got rejected, it put the hiring process on hold. It was just crazy. The job was miscommunicating with me, or taking too long to communicate with me. They was giving me wrong information. It was crazy. It was crazy. Mind you, I felt like I had no favor with this job from the beginning because I had to fly out here to Houston for the interview that I felt like could have been virtual. And then they told me they would give me a response within a week. 2 weeks went by and I didn't hear anything from them. I had to reach out to get an update, and then they kind of gave me this second-handed offer when they saw that I was still interested. On some, they wasn't going to reach out to me because I was still living in New York. They wanted someone that was already in town so that they can bring them on board even faster, but they was having problems hiring people. They couldn't get teachers to work for them. You understand what I'm saying? So it was like, well, we can't get anyone hired and this girl is still interested, so let's just wait for her and bring her on board. It was really a second-handed offer. Ew, y'all wasn't even gonna give me the job then. All right, God, there's no favor with this job, but this is the job that you gave me. I don't understand that. This is the only job you allowed to hire me, but yet you've provided no favor with this job. It's been craziness since the interview process. They finally accept me, and then like I said, it was all this miscommunication and everything. Like, they didn't send me the original state background information and literally into the week that I was leaving to move. I don't get it. It took 2 months to start working. That means 2 months I wasn't sure of how my rent was going to be paid out here. By the grace of God, you know, I was still getting paid from my previous job because we get paid as teachers over summer, even when school is not in session. So I moved in the summertime, so I still had that income to hold on to a little bit, but it's nerve-wracking not knowing how you are going to pay rent. My mom helped me out a lot. My mother helped me out the most. She's done more for me than anybody else. You understand? She's done more for me than anybody else. A friend, he helped me out. You know, my cousin, she gave me, you know, some money. My friends helped me out, like, when they could, little monies to get to and from church and for a few groceries and things like that. And then a family friend also helped me out greatly. It was just like I could count on my hands the people that actually helped me. Here's where things get even more worse, right? I actually start working and it's chaotic. I want to say it's hell, but it's chaotic. They are severely short-staffed. Sometimes I am in a classroom. I work with preschoolers. Sometimes I am in a classroom with up to 30 children alone, based on the shifts. Like the teacher next door to me, when she leaves every day, our classes have to combine. I watch both classes. That's up to 30 kids alone. That is illegal. The ratio is 1 to 15. One adult for every 15 students. I should never be with that many children by myself, and it was stressful because a lot of these children, I'm sorry, but they are terrible. They seem like they don't have home training, and then when you tell the parents don't do anything. In fact, the parents be sitting there coddling the terrible behavior, and they don't help, and it's stressful. And I've had a couple of panic attacks, and I felt a lot of feelings in my chest as if I was having heart palpitations. Not okay for my health. Stressful. I'm like, God, this is what you lead me to? I didn't have favor with this job. It took forever to start. And when I start, this is what I have to put up with. And they don't even pay enough for my rent. Excuse me, God. I'm living in obedience. I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. We all fall short all the time, even when we giving the Lord all of our effort. And so I'm not perfect, but God, I know I'm in your will. I'm in your will. I'm walking in obedience, and this is what I'm putting up with. Where is the favor? Where is the blessings? Right? And so I'm angry. And then there was a couple of times I've been depressed because I'm like, God, I shouldn't be living this way out here. All that I gave up, and not to act entitled to blessings, because God is God. Like, whether I'm suffering or I'm thriving, I'm supposed to be surrendered to him regardless. And so I was angry, and I felt betrayed by God, and sometimes I wanted to give up and just go back home to New York. And to this day, I'm still dealing with the terrible work situation. Living here got better. Like, that's been taken care of. But the work situation is still terrible. I was ready to walk out. As of last week, I was this close to walking out. I was this close to walking out without any other job lined up, without any extra stream of income, and I didn't care. So when you stress that bad on the job, you don't even care about not having money. You just gotta go. And so the management, they don't do much to help. They don't step in like they should. And low key, I be wishing some of the parents reported so the building could get shut down. So then I really don't have to work. But I'm in the process of looking for a different place to teach at because it's terrible. It's, with that being said, money has been a problem. With that being said, money has been an issue. My expenses far outweigh my income. Far outweigh my income. Now, for my personal privacy, I ain't gonna be telling y'all numbers and all that stuff, but it far outweighs my income to the point where I am shocked that I have not been evicted yet. I came close to it once, but in the nick of time, God provided. But the fact that I even come close to eviction, every month, a couple of my bills do not get paid. I don't have enough income for my job. So a couple of bills go unpaid. I try to pay the most essential ones. I don't even have money for transportation. So I take a 30-minute walk to and from work. I am walking for 30 minutes to and from work, 30 minutes each way. I'm surprised I'm not homeless. But this is not okay. And I was like, I'm motivated now. Like, I'm motivated, especially after the weekend where God has just been confirming and giving revelation about a lot. So I'm now motivated. But as of 2 days ago, Friday, I was done. And I'm texting all my friends, listen, whatever happens, happens at this point, because I don't know how I'm gonna make it next month. As I sit here right now, I don't know how I'm gonna make it next month. I don't even care anymore. Like, I was just so done and depressed. I'm like, I don't even care. Whatever happens, happens. If I have to go back home to New York, I don't care. And how I was feeling was, I even want to make this video giving no update because it's embarrassing a little bit, but I have nothing to be embarrassed about because a lot of people couldn't last a week in my shoes. So I made it this far, so it's nothing to be embarrassed about. You understand? God has graced me to even be able to deal with this type of storm. I didn't want to put this out because I wanted to protect God's reputation. I'm like, God, you're gonna look a little crazy if I give people the real deal about what I'm going through right now. People may think I'm thriving or whatever, but you gonna look, you might look bad for real. You're gonna look bad if I tell people what I'm going through. I was like, I'm not trying to help. The people that I know that are believers, cool. They understand the faith journey. They understand long suffering. But the people that I know that are in my family or the people that just watch me, they know me and they not really Christians or they not really believers or church going or whatever like that. They're going to look at you and this is going to validate every thought that they have about not giving their lives to you. They're going to be looking like, see, that's why I don't do all that church stuff. Why would God have her go halfway across the country and then not even look out for her? Like, I'm like, God, I don't want to do that. You about to look real bad to the people that probably don't even believe in you anyway. And I felt like I had to protect God's reputation. I said, nah, God, I don't need you out here looking bad. I want people to draw near to you, not walk away. I started to feel a little convicted about that. I started to feel like God would be, if the Holy Spirit have not said already, like, who do you think you are? What can you do for me? What favor can you do, a mere human, mortal? What favor can you do for the living God? Who are you to where you can uphold my reputation? I am God and I'm God by myself. There's nothing you can do for me, you understand, to make my name great or less. You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you? I don't need you. I don't need your help in drawing all men unto me. So who are you to say I'm going to keep my mouth shut about what I'm going through because it's going to make God look bad? I got to protect God. Who are you to protect me or my name? You could do nothing for me. You understand? You tell these people what you're going through, because everything is not glitz and glam. You can't always wait to the testimony when you came out and everything is going well for you. You tell people exactly what you're going through, where you are right now. So when you do come out of this, they going to know it was only me, because it was impossible with all that you was going through. When you come out of it, they gonna know it was no other way but me. And so tell them what you're going through right now. Be real. Everything ain't peaches and cream. And so here I am making this video. I really felt the Holy Spirit pressing it on my heart to just give y'all this update. I tried to summarize it as quickly as I could. And yeah, so where I stand right now, things are not going well for me. It seems like nothing is going well. My living situation, as far as the cleanliness of the house, that's the only thing that has gotten better. That's the only thing that's doing good right now. My work situation is terrible. I've applied to a bunch of jobs, got rejected, trying to run away from teaching, but it seems like I'm meant to continue working in childcare. So now that that's being the case, the job search definitely about to go easier. But up until, now, it was rejection after rejection after rejection. Money, short. Not enough. Lacking. Eviction. On the verge of eviction. Non-stop. Don't have a car. You need a car in Texas. You need a car in Houston, Texas. Don't have a car. It's not going well for me, guys. That is the update, part 3. I'm having hope. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna keep holding on for as long as I can. And I'm gonna have faith in God. I'm gonna have faith in God. Because he showed me a couple of times, even in the hardship that I've been going through. There's some times where I was like, wait, whoa, provision, Like, there was one time, since I don't have like no fairy tale ending to this, I will give a couple of times where God did come through. I got an extra paycheck from my previous job, because remember, I said in New York, I was still being paid, because we get paid for the summers, even though school is not in session. We still get paid for the summer. So while I was out here in Texas in the summer, I was still getting paid for my New York job. And so I informed them that I was resigning, and I received my last check. So the next pay period, no more income, right? The next pay period came from that job. I'm not expecting a check, but I look at my bank account and Tish got a whole nother check that I was not supposed to get. You can't tell me that wasn't God. You can't tell me that wasn't God. You also can't tell me it wasn't God, because they didn't even realize the mistake and charged it back. That is God. God let that happen. But one day I was short on rent. I was short on rent by $200, and I was like, okay, the remaining balance is just gonna have to be paid late, and that would be another week or 2. So I contacted management. They was like, okay, you're gonna get a late fee, and we still gonna have to put out an order of eviction, but since you promised to pay by this date, we won't actually go through with it if you pay, but for formality, we are still gonna issue it, and so I was like, all right. I'm sitting there like, God, this gonna be the first time me living out here that rent is actually late. Even though it was paid already, the majority of the rent was paid. I was just short $200. And so I was like, this is the first time I'm gonna be kind of late. Like, if you late on the rent, the fee is $175 in addition to what you owe. I'm like, I don't have it. And so I kept praying that whole week. I remember before this happened, I kept praying. I was like, I need a ram in the bush blessing. I need a ram in the bush blessing. And then I was at work crying when they emailed me back saying that. And I was like, I'm so tired of living this way. My coworker was like, hey, have a good day. And I had apologized to her. I was like, I'm sorry if I came off a little today and a little just like standoffish and looking mean. I said, I'm just going through something, but I don't want you to think it was like anything wrong personally. And then she was like, no, like, everything okay? Like, what you need? And then she said, listen, you need anything. She said, you tell me, I'm not playing, and I don't care what time of night it is. You call me, you need anything. And then I was like, please don't say that, because I'm going to start crying. And then I started crying in front of the kids, everything. I started crying. And then she was like, do you need money? Like, how much you got? I was like, I do need money. And then she was like, how much? And then she was like, you know, like, you have Cash App? Mind you, I never told her how much. She just simply said, do you have Cash App? So later that night, she texted me, asking for my Cash App name. I gave it to her, and she sent me money. And you know how much money she sent me? $200. Not $201, not $100, not $20. She sent me exactly $200. That was the exact amount that I needed to pay rent in full. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, God. Ram in the bush. It was literally sent to me at like 8 p.m. 8 p.m. So I had 4 hours to go ahead and send that $200 so rent would not be considered late. Right in the nick of time, ram in the bush. So, I mean, God looked out in that sense. And then as far as me, like I said, having food and things like that, God looked out. And then even now, God has connected me to beautiful women, beautiful women. And I think I'll tag them because they both have YouTube pages, Kiera and Tasha. And he connected me to these godly sisters, and they go to my church. And we all have the same testimony. God called us from our home states to Houston, Texas, and we all struggled when we got here. Like, it's crazy. And we all do content, so I'm glad to be connected to them. And because they drive and they have cars, and look, in the way God works, one of the girls actually happened to live close to me. She gives me rides to and from church. And I have a way to get around a bit now. And a lot of times we want to discredit God because he doesn't help us in the way that we want to be helped, or in the timing that we want him to help us in. But God chooses to work how he chooses to work. He chooses to do things the way he wants to do them, not the way we want him to do it. And so why am I going through all of this? Like, what's the point of you going through all of this? For those of you who don't understand what long suffering is kind of like God allows you to go through tests and trials to see your loyalty to him, but also to make you stronger. Long story short, character development. If he can trust you to go through this, and he see that you really a soldier for him, that's when you get elevated. But he's not going to give you more if he can't trust you with what you're currently going through. Like, and so this whole long ordeal was not just for God to see if I'll be faithful to him yet still, because I've proven that already, but it was also for God to do some refining in me. It was to help me grow, because there were certain things that needed to change before God give me the blessings that he has for me. And so I'm standing here, things not going well, but there's some joy that I have, and I have motivation now based on revelation that I've gotten over the weekend, and things are gonna get better. I don't know when or how, but it's gonna get better, and I'm for sure gonna give you guys an update when that happens. So thank you for tuning in to this video. Let it encourage you if you are going through long suffering. Remember the good things that God has done for you in the midst of the long suffering. Remember the things that God has done for others, because other people's testimonies should also be encouragement in addition to the things that God has done for you in your own personal life. And just know that there is a reward on the other side if you are in suffering for his will, right? Don't be looking at this if you suffering because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. That's different if you caused your own suffering. But if you are suffering for the sake of God, like, hold on in there. As much as you can. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't even gonna mad if you feel like you can't hold on anymore and you like bump this, walk away. I'll just pray for you, because I was close to that just 2 days ago, you know. But if you walking through this with me, then we walking together. You're not alone. You're not alone. Hang on as much as you can and know that it's someone out there who's going through it too. And yeah, so I never thought that would be my update. I thought I'd be like, yeah, y'all, so this took off, that took off. I got a car now. This is popping, that is popping. And it's like, child, please. I'm out here like Pookie from New Jack City. So let me stop because it could be way worse. So let me stop. But that was funny. Thank you for watching. Be encouraged. Pray. Stay close with God. See you.